All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty coming into the program today. Of course, I show up at the office bright and early this morning. I've got no internet. I've got like no connections. I got to restart my computer. All kinds of crazy stuff. Look, today is Inauguration Day. Today is Martin Luther King Day. It's a very special day. Um, but I wanted to talk about something a little bit uh, off the normal topic that I speak about. And I want to dig in with you guys if that's okay. Look, today we stand on the dawn of a new presidency. We're not just witnessing a peaceful transition of power, but we're also standing at the crossroads of a nation's history. At the moment, we define not only the next 4 years, but the next generation. America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, is more divided than we've ever been in modern history. It is a division that cuts through our homes, our schools, our friendships, and even our families. We live in a time when political disagreements do not end in a handshake and mutual respect for one another, but differing instead ends in anger, accusation, and even violence. We're facing a crisis not just of policy, but identity. And we are people of what America truly stands for. We have reached a point, really, where we see each other not as fellow Americans, but as enemies simply because of our beliefs. We have turned political parties into teams, policies into battle lines, elections into war zones. The media fuels this division, of course. Social media amplifies it, and we, the people, allow it to take root in our hearts. So let's take a step back in history in a time when America was united, when America and the spirit of America was at its peak, the era of World War II, a time where young men and women did not see service to their country as an obligation, but as an honor. And being a United States Marine myself, I take a lot of pride in that. I grew up wanting to be G.I. Joe. And this was a time where children dreamed of being soldiers, not influencers, when the American flag was not just a symbol, but a promise that we would stand together, fight together, and win together. You know, during World War II, America was not perfect. We had our struggles, our divisions, and our injustices. But the one thing was clear: we were Americans first. We understood that despite our differences, we were bound by something greater than political ideologies. We were bound by the belief in freedom, the belief in opportunity, and the belief in one another. Fast forward to today, and we see a stark contrast. Our young is disengaged from patriotism. Their interest in the nation's success is fading. And instead of aspiring to serve and build, many have conditioned to criticize and tear down. We're raising a generation that does not fully understand the sacrifice they've built for this great nation. And we are fostering in an environment where the American dream is being replaced by division and resentment. It has even reached the point where we hear murmurs of civil war. I mean, a movie came out about it, a phrase that should never be spoken lightly in this nation, a phrase that represents the darkest time of our history, when brother fought against brother and blood was spilled not against an external enemy, but amongst our own. Do we really want to walk down that road again? Have we learned nothing from our past? We must change the course, and we must do it now. We must remember that America is a melting pot of ideas, beliefs, and cultures. We're a nation built on differences, yet we have allowed those differences to very tear us apart. We need to rediscover the ability to disagree without hatred. We need to embrace the idea that we can be Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, and still be American first. We must reject the idea that we need to agree on everything to coexist. My beliefs don't have to be your beliefs, and your beliefs don't have to be mine, but it doesn't mean we can't be friends. Shoving our ideas down someone's throat does not get them to join our side of the fence. Rather, it pushes them further away. Being American doesn't mean being identical. It means embracing the freedom to think, to speak, and to believe as we choose. It means understanding that whether you are a man, a woman, gay, straight, trans, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or anything in between, you are first and foremost a human being. And as humans, we must treat each other with respect and dignity. We must teach our children that patriotism is not about blind allegiance. It's about believing in a promise of this country and working together to make it better. Patriotism is about loving your country enough to contribute, to engage, and to build rather than to divide, destroy, and disengage. So how do we come together again? We start by listening, truly listening, not listening to respond, but listening to argue, not listening to argue, sorry, but listening to understand. We must stop assuming that every disagreement is an attack and start seeing them as an opportunity to grow. We must return to the core values: faith, family, freedom, and unity. We must remember that while we may differ in how we think this country should be run, we all want it to succeed. We must stop vilifying those who think differently from us. Political opposition should not be synonymous with personal hatred. We can have a difference of opinion and still be allies in the fight for a better future. It is time that we reignite the American spirit, the spirit that says we do not have to agree to work together. A spirit that says my neighbor's political beliefs do not define his character. A spirit that understands that this country was never meant to be a monolith, but a chorus of voices, each adding depth and richness to the American experience. America, let this day not just be the beginning of a new presidency, but the beginning of a new era. An era where we turn down the temperature of our political discourse. An era where we reject division and embrace unity. An era where the media does not dictate how we feel, but rather we investigate all sides of the story and come up with a sentiment of our own. An era where we do not see each other as enemies, but as teammates working towards the same goal: a stronger, better, and united America. Let this be a moment where we choose hope over hatred, conversation over cancellation, and a unity over division. Let us be the generation that historians will look back on and say, they turned the tide. We are one nation under God, indivisible, and it is time that we start acting like it. Thank you guys for giving me your time today and allowing me to go off the charts a little bit. But God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day, as he deserves his respect as an American and what he did to change the United States and the world. And enjoy the inauguration today, where you voted for the man, Trump, who's getting sworn in as president today or not. We all have the same goal: a better future for this country, a better future for our children. And maybe take a step back from all the nonsense that we've been pushed into by the media and allow yourselves the opportunity to think for yourself. And when you have that opportunity, teach it to your children. Give them the excitement of growth. Give them the excitement of understanding patriotism. Make them want to grow up and be G.I. Joe too. Make them want to grow up to defend this country through its thick and thin times. Today, my kids are coming to the office. I'm here very early because I'm committed to doing this with you. But today, my kids are coming to the office. They have the day off from school. And we're going to watch the inauguration together. I want them to understand what happens in the transition of power and why it happens. I want them to understand America and how America operates so that they have a better understanding and they're capable of making their own decisions one day. God bless you guys. Have a great week. Stay motivated and keep grinding.